there, everyone. It is Jason Piercy, host of Out of the Fog on Tuesday nights at 7:30. You're definitely going to want to watch because you never know what I'm going to get into. It's all about community. It's all about you. So watch Tuesday, 7:30.
This is Rogers TV.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this evening on Out of the Fog, where it is a special edition where we are talking about the future of, part of a series of conversations we're having with so many dedicated citizens in our province, talking about a variety of subjects. Tonight, we are talking about the future of fundraising, and I'm joined by Emily, Meghan, and Geoff, three incredible people who have a lot to say around the subject of fundraising and the future of. I'll throw it to you, Emily, first. Maybe you would like to let everybody viewing this program know about your position and your day-to-day life in the world of fundraising.
Okay, yeah, sure. So my name is Emily Geary. I am a Senior Development Officer with the Dr. H. Bliss Murphy Cancer Care Foundation. So that would be my day job. I'm also the president of the Association of Fundraising Professionals, Newfoundland and Labrador chapter. So representing about 55 member organizations here in the province. So in my day-to-day life at the foundation, I focus on fundraising for cancer care right across the province. So that includes equipment, support programs, new chemotherapy units, and the like there.
Thank you so much. Geez, by day and by night.
Yeah.
Meghan, obviously, there's a lot we can say based on the board we sit on. I'll hand it over to you. Let us all know about the day-to-day volunteerism that leads you into fundraising life.
Well, day to day, sometimes day and night job is a financial advisor with Freedom 55 Financial. But one of the main organizations that I've been volunteering with, I would say for at least the last 10 years, has been the Boys and Girls Clubs of St. John's. So the Boys and Girls Clubs of St. John's, we have two clubs in the city, one in Buckmaster Circle and one in Monday Pond. And our clubs, when they're open, provide quality after-school programming to our inner city kids. The two clubs are pretty strategically located to be able to serve a group of kids that need our services. So this has been a very interesting time, to say the least. But despite the challenges that we've been having as of late, we're still able to serve the kids in a different way. So I'm looking forward to having this discussion.
Thank you so much. And Geoff, hello. Why don't you let us know? And it's on your shirt, so if you didn't talk, we'd figure it out. But please tell us everything.
Yeah, thanks, dude. So Geoff Eaton, I am the Executive Director at Young Adult Cancer Canada, YAC for short. We help young adults dealing with cancer. So, we, like the Boys and Girls Clubs, like the Dr. H. Bliss Murphy Cancer Care Foundation, and, hundreds of charities across the province, we live only on the generosity of others. And so that's my main role at YAC, is to help find partners and donors and event participants like the Shave for the Brave of all stripes and ages who can engage and help our organization help young adults who are dealing with cancer. So that's my connection to fundraising. We've been doing this for about 20 years now. And primarily because of my own diagnosis of cancer in my 20s. And it is a really powerful, rewarding job, and it is also obviously now facing challenges unlike anything I've ever seen, and I think that's the case for most of us, and that's why conversations like this are well-timed.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Last time I checked, there was almost, if not over, 2,000 registered not-for-profit charity organizations across the province, each one representing marginalized populations that all need support for programming and services and all sorts of things. Emily, I'll ask you, knowing that you have so much on your plate in terms of your presidential role, what are you encountering day to day, minute to minute as we work through this pandemic?
Well, I would have to say that there's a lot, people are really, really weary. fearful of what's to come, because despite there being a pandemic, the needs of the populations that we serve, they remain, and in many cases they even get worse, especially for areas such as like poverty and homelessness and medical needs. The needs get even greater during these times. So the needs remain. The needs for our services remain, but everything looks a little different. We have to deliver programs much differently than we had ever before. Our in-person, face-to-face kind of stuff is gone for now, hopefully not for too long, but it's been a real shift. I mean, in life and in fundraising, everything has had a real shift. So they're just, all of our members are just kind of trying to figure out what to do, where to go, where this is going. God, if we all knew how long it was going to last, that would be perfect. But yeah, like everybody's, I think, is kind of in the same boat. They're just kind of wondering what's next, where to go, how to change, to meet the needs of the populations that we serve is ultimately the ultimate goal for all of us, I believe.
Absolutely. I think that a friend of mine hit it on the head. Forevermore, it'll be life before COVID and life after. And that is especially true when it comes to fundraising and how we interact, because Geoff, I'll throw this to you as a event-led fundraising organization, where the Shave for the Brave campaign is a very well-known across the province and across the country yearly campaign that does so much to help you support so many young adults looking for connection via the programs and services that you exist to provide. How is this time and the future of affecting how you guys approach day-to-day life in your organization?
Yeah. So the concerns around the virus are one level of concern that certainly our yakker population are really sensitive to, because they fit into that vulnerable population that we hear about every night. But the social distancing guidelines that we're using to mitigate and really face this challenge are the ones that are having the biggest impact on yak. So on the program side, just like Emily, I mean, we've paused all face-to-face programming, and that carries over to the fundraising side, because the Shave for the Brave is primarily about bringing people together, having high energy, high impact events, and now that's been kind of pulled off the table for the foreseeable future. There's a segment of the Shave for the Brave that is still powerful and fun, led by solo shavers who do it at home. So that's actually an option for us to get creative and innovative and think about a new way to engage people, which we are currently doing and planning for. But the vast majority, like of over half of our revenue, is event-based. So that has taken a massive hit. And in this particular time, this would have been much better time for us in October. We don't get to pick when we have hopefully once in a lifetime pandemics. But from our perspective, it could not have been worse timing. This is the peak time for Shave for the Brave. So we've had to shut all of those streams down, save that one solo stream that we're still going to rock out.
Thank you so much. Understood. Meghan, I know you have a lot to say about working boards that are dealing heavily in event-based everything. I know you and I are breathing a subtle sigh of relief that our Black Tie Bingo event was able to happen, because that's our big Boys and Girls Club fundraising moment of the year. Talk about life going forward based on the needs that the program and the kids have.
I mean, yeah, we're extremely lucky. I mean, we had our event the end of February, really right before all of this hit, even though February seems so long ago now. With that said, I mean, just to take a step back, I think for a lot of organizations, certainly Geoff, you would be one of them. I mean, you're looking this is like something I would say to any of my clients, when you've been hit with something, you look at the short, medium, and long-term impacts. Like short-term, events are, challenging, if not impossible. Medium term, even those organizations, I think that might be having something in the fall, that would be really, really challenging. While you might be able to actually have your event, I would say dial back your expectations in terms of what you would expect to earn from those events, because I think in another perspective, the disposable income just isn't there like it was. And then in the long term, I think looking out maybe even in a year's time, we're really hoping that I like to be optimistic that this whole situation would be a memory and that we would all come through it. And I don't necessarily think that events are going to die. I think, if anything, one thing that Snowmageddon has taught us, and now with COVID-19, people want that human connection. I think people are wanting, they're going to want to get together. Again, if you're having an event in the fall or next year, again, dial back your expectations in terms of what you expect your earning is going to be. I think rely heavily on the financial people that you have on your board to help you plan for that. But yeah, I think events are going to be challenging, but I still think that they have a place in the fundraising world because, I've even been guilty of saying it, when you go to a gala event, and I've been super, super fortunate to be able to attend a lot of these types of events, and they're all wonderful and they're all so many great causes that you kind of get a little bit of gala and event fatigue. But maybe some of those things that we used to take for granted in the past, we're not going to so much anymore, and we're really appreciate it a bit more.
Definitely.
I still think events have a place. It's just going to take some time before they kind of get back to, what they were doing before. My advice would really just to be, to mind your expectations and to manage your expectations and what you expect to clear from those types of events.
Thank you so much. I'll tell you what, guys, we're at the end of our first segment. We're going to throw to a break, come right on back, and continue this very important conversation around the future of fundraising. I'm joined by Geoff, Emily, and Meghan, and I can't wait to come back and talk to you guys some more. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back.
All right, girls.
Mom, you said it's played again.
Workplace injuries hurt the most at home.
Hey, did you know?
More than 4,500 Canadians are waiting for an organ transplant right now.
Right now. 4,500.
People are dying.
And you could save a life. 90% of Canadians say they're willing to donate their organs.
But only a few are registered.
So what are you waiting for? Get registered.
It's easy and it's free.
Leave a legacy. Be a hero.
Save a life.
Find out how to register today. Go to kidney.ca.
Thank you so much. We're back. This is Out of the Fog, and an important digital, as you're seeing right now, episode featuring a conversation around the future of fundraising. I want to jump right back into you, Geoff. Before the break, we had a conversation leaning into expectation management and all sorts of subjects related to the future of interaction in terms of live events that do so much to help organizations raise funds. I want to ask you about the subject of local and how you feel about the conversation of supporting local and how charity might want to be more on that list of conversation. I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, I dig that train of thought for sure. Like I know I have lots of friends, and my brother and lots of people I know are in that local small business category, and they definitely need our love. And I think that's one of the things that will have a bit of that pent up excitement when we are kind of released from our homes to dig back into our community and engage with them. And even those that are adjusting and flying into this now, this innovative space, and they're there now that we can engage with them. Charities are the same. And I'd love to see that love local include charities because as Emily touched on in Yak's world, and I know many, many charities, as revenue goes down and this intense, unique situation we're in has happened, needs go up. So it's not like a flat line at Yak. The needs of our community are more intense than they have ever been. So we're doing our best to meet those virtually. And organizations like us need the love from our communities.
Geoff, what's the wait list right now for a young adult to access the support-based programs and services that you guys exist to offer?
I mean, before COVID hit, the face-to-face wait list at Yak is off the chart. 340% of capacity we've been rocking at. So we're getting 340 applications for 100 spots. We have a retreat tentatively set for August. We opened registration for that last week. 510%, something like that. The registrations are off the chart. And then the digital spaces we've had digital programs for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're just in this space looking for new and creative ways to meet those. And we have started with those last week, web chats and some podcast action, but we need resources to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Which brings me into, Emily, I think I would like to ask you about leaning into new innovative ways, because disruption equals innovation, and we're thankful on one hand and scared on the other. So I'll ask you, when it comes to the future of fundraising on a digital lens and doing things in a new way, what thoughts come to your mind?
Yeah, I definitely think that we have to shift our focus of, the member organizations that we have in AFP. We've definitely come together and said that there has to be a shift in focus because of the reliance, like what we said, on events. And it kind of leads you into this situation whereby no events equals no revenue. So we're a lot of members are kind of moving more towards digital and virtual events. So it's a new area for a lot of people. But it's, it seems to be it's going to have to be the way of the future, I think. But another thing I wanted to mention was that new information that just came out, Giving Tuesday, that's usually held the Tuesday after Black Friday. So it's usually like the very end of November, beginning of December. Internationally, they're holding a Giving Tuesday on May the 5th. To address the needs, the needs of organizations from this COVID-19 pandemic. And so it's encouraging, it will be just like Giving Tuesday in December or late November, and encouraging people, like what Geoff said, encouraging to give to your local nonprofit organizations to keep them sustainable, to keep them going. So that's a great initiative, just got released. So hopefully, that'll mean some good donations coming into all different organizations, because the needs are, like Geoff said, the needs are great. The needs continue. And in a lot of cases they get a lot worse, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's exciting. I feel like that's a great campaign to lean into, and it is, upcoming. So hopefully we can all do a great job to make sure that people from either traditional and digital platforms, wherever they're hanging out, can know about this and get involved in that. And so, Meghan, I'll turn it over to you. Digital. There's a lot we can talk about in terms of asking on the gram and sharing posts and Facebook messages and such. Why don't you tell us about a recent experience you had regarding Facebook and asking for a donation campaign in lieu of a gift, and what went on there? I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, so my birthday was during Snowmageddon, and which was a time. And one of the things, I'm super passionate about the Boys and Girls Clubs and everything that we do. And, a lot of our kids that go to the Boys and Girls Club rely very heavily on the school breakfast and lunch programs.
Yeah.
So when the schools are shut down for a week because we're in a state of emergency or a pandemic, a lot of our kids, food insecurity is a very, very real issue that's happening right in our backyard. So I really tried to take advantage of the time, because during these down times and when we're inside and told to kind of stay put, everyone's on their devices. So I opted to have a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Clubs, and for my birthday kind of thing. Facebook has done a really, really good job of making that really easy to set up and talk about, and it makes it shareable. The donate button is right there. A couple of people did message me, over the 2 weeks that I held a fundraiser, and specifically said, well, I really want to donate, but I don't want any of my money. If I'm giving $20, I don't want a percentage of it to go, because of fees and that sort of thing. It was a totally valid question. But one of the things that Facebook does actually is they cover the fees. So 100% of the proceeds actually go directly to the charity. So I raised, I think, about $1,500 for my birthday fundraiser, and that went directly to the Boys and Girls Club. With that said, even if you were to donate using another platform, whether it's Canada Helps, or even if you were to call the charity directly and give them your visa number, I mean, there's still fees attached with those things. And I think the thing to think about now, I mean, unless you physically walk over to the Boys and Girls Club and give them $20, which we're not really allowed to do right now. I mean, that's really one of the very few ways you can kind of, combat that issue. I don't necessarily think that fees are a bad thing if someone's willing to build a platform so someone can easily donate, and out of that $20, the charity gets $19. Well, that's still $19 that they didn't have before, that they definitely need. I mean, we could all talk about the needs in our community right now, and if someone wants to give, like I said, a small fee isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means that someone took something, made it convenient and easy, and there are businesses, charities that have bills to pay, people have bills to pay, so I'm not necessarily offended by that, but like I said, the Facebook experience one was a very, very positive experience. So
that's great. Thank you so much. I will say we're in our final minute or so. I would love to have an opportunity to have a send-off message from each of you from your lenses that everybody watching this program can walk away with as it pertains to the time we're in and the future of the needs that we all still have. So Geoff, I'll hand it over to you. What are your parting comments regarding a message to the province and beyond around your lens as it pertains to fundraising and the needs?
My hope is, one of the many hopes that I have for COVID is that a lot of us do a little reflection in the time that we've got to doing a reassessment, really. It's a real opportunity. Any time of crisis, it gives you a chance to reassess what's really important. And I hope a lot of people will reflect and understand just how important community is to their life. And that can mean community on a whole bunch of levels, socially, on your street, at work, broader sense of community, and organizations like all of ours that are helping. And I hope we reprioritize just how important that is going forward in this new post-COVID era.
Thank you so much. My new friend, Emily, what are your thoughts from the two different day and evening vocations that are so important? What are your thoughts?
I would have to say that I believe that better days are ahead, and something good has to come from this. Like Geoff said, this is giving us an opportunity that we would never, ever have. And I'm speaking on behalf of my organization and all the other member organizations as well. We would never have these opportunities to look at different ways of delivering our programs and delivering, fundraising. So I prefer to look at it as much as I can as an opportunity, and know that there are better days ahead, and hopefully we'll all come out on top at the end of this, and the needs of our communities will be met, which is obviously our main priority.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Meghan, what do you say?
I don't know what else to say that hasn't already been said. I mean, I would certainly echo what Geoff and Emily have said. I mean, the needs are still there in the community. I never would encourage someone to spend or give beyond their means. So, I mean, like I said, if you still want to give, then the opportunity is still there. But yeah, I certainly think we're in a time where, as much as we have technology and all of those types of things available to us, the need for community and for that human connection, I really think we're going to come out of this, and we will, not taking that for granted. And I'm very interested to see where everything kind of lands once this all is behind us. So.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time of each of you and the work that you do every day and night as it pertains to helping the organizations that we love and the people who need us to do the work we do, to continue to move forward and evolve in the face of what's going on right now. Until next time, this is Out of the Fog. This was the future of fundraising. If you have any questions or concerns, let us know. And maybe we'll have another panel discussion in the near future about this, because it is the not-for-profits that make our community happen. And so thank you so much, you guys, for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Talk soon. See you next time.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
I wouldn't sit there. Never sit on the couch.
I was worried for this girl. I mean, they were just like laughing about it. What can we do?
Do about what? I've got unfinished business. Gina. I'm gonna find the man who murdered my wife and kill him. Revenge is what makes a man like you exceptional.
Well, that's not good.
The School Lunch Association is a registered charity that provides a hot, nutritious lunch for school children in over 36 schools, regardless of a family's financial situation. We believe that every child should have a hot, nutritious meal because good nutrition promotes better learning.
COVID-19 has affected us all, including one of the most needed resources for our children, the School Lunch Association. We've donated all our food stocks to other charities and food banks so that others can benefit. But when the school bell rings again, the School Lunch Association will be back, like we have been for over 30 years, providing hot, nutritious lunches to more children than ever.
Your donation